What's up, everybody? This is Jamie, Blades and EDC, and just sitting here watching Star Trek Strange New Worlds and working on this Culex, this Wiha Culex I got. Let me tell you what I'm doing here. It's going to be really quick, and if this works, I'll record some more and merge it in later. I'm going to show you on the Civivi Chevalier, or Chevalier, whatever, Chevalier, or Chevalier, whatever you want to call it, first. So, when I first got this knife, the button stick was really bad. If you go watch my original videos on it, the unboxing, everything, it was really, really bad. It's gotten better, right? It doesn't stick it. Here, well, there's a difference too. There's still an issue with this, and if this works, I'll do it on this also. So, if I flip this knife open, and I don't flip it very hard, and it just opens up, listen to the button. I'm going to bring it close to the mic. Has a little pop, right? It feels normal. It feels like what I think a button lock should feel like. But if I fling that blade out there and it whacks open, now listen to the button. It's sticking. So Jake did a whole video on button locks, and he was working with, putting different springs in them to improve the action on the blade or the deployment. But he also did some polishing, which got me to thinking. So, let me show you here. So, oops, drop the pivot. Don't want to lose that. So, let me get the pivot back in there. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So, when the blade's closed, the button, the spring is pressing this down, locking this blade, right? So it can't open. But when you press the button, when you open the blade, the spring is pushing this down, and I need to stop pin in there to do this. Hold on. Put the stop pin in there and make this a lot easier to show you what I'm talking about. So when you open the blade, it's flying open, hitting that stop pin, but it's also hitting this plunge lock. The spring is pressing. There's a little notch right here, right? I don't know if it's going to show up or not because the colors are so similar. But if you look right there's a little notch. That notch hits that plunge lock, and the spring is pushing that plunge lock back down, which is locking that blade in. That's where it's sticking at, right? That's where you're getting that stick. Even if I push up on this blade against that stop pin, I can feel that even without the spring in there. Hear that? So what I'm doing, and just so you know, I'm using 1500 grit sandpaper to do this. I don't have a polishing wheel for my Dremel small enough to get into this. I'll show you now that's out of there. This little notch right there. Stop pin hits up here. The lock hits right there, and that little notch in the blade right there, right by the hole for the pivot, right above it right there. So I've got polishing wheels for my Dremel, but nothing I can get in that small of a space. So I've taken some, and I wish I had 1000 grit sandpaper, but I don't have 1000. I've got like 600, 800, and 1500. And I don't want to go down to 800. I want to start as high as possibly can. So I'm using 1500 grit, and I've wrapped it around a doodad, cut off a piece of it, wrapped it up real tight around the doodad. And I'm polishing this area off to see if we can speed up the break-in process. Over time, I'm also going to polish around where the stop pin hits, and I'm going to polish around the button itself where the button makes contact with the blade right here. I'm going to polish that area to make this all super nice and smooth. And because this is a stonewash finish, and you can see how gray this blade is, right? Well, if you look right here where I've already been polishing, see how it's getting kind of shiny already? I don't know how well it's... Let me shine a flashlight on it. Maybe that'll help it. So if you look here... it's just going to white it out, isn't it? Well, I don't know if I can get that to show up, but this is getting shiny from me rubbing this 1500 grit sandpaper on it. And for those of you thinking I'm taking off metal, I'm going to mess up the action, 1500 grit's not going to take off enough metal to change anything other than speed up this process. Theoretically, this should work. This should make 1,000, I've flipped this thing, I can't tell you how many times to get it to feel like I think it should feel. But still, if I whack it out there, it's still got a stick to it. I think this will resolve that issue and get rid of that stick. If it does work, I will merge the video in after this video, if I can figure out how to do that, or make a separate video. I think I know how to merge it in, and I'll let you guys know, because this is pretty easy to do. Most of us disassemble our knives anyway to clean them and, you know, lube them up properly, because most of them aren't coming with lube on them nowadays. This one didn't. This Civivi, or this Wiha didn't. So it's not that hard to sit here and sand this down. And if I had the right piece for my Dremel, I got to get online, see if I can find something that would work for this. I could do this super quick with the Dremel, but we'll do it the manual way here and see how it works out. All right, guys, thank you for watching, and if I can figure out how to merge it, there will be something else coming right after this, and I'll let you know if it helped at all. Thanks, guys. All right, guys, the Culex is reassembled, and the button stick is much better. Still a little bit of button stick, but I'm gonna like whack it out there really hard as I can. Yeah, it's a lot better, actually. It is a lot better. There's still a little tiny bit of button stick, but nothing like there was before. You get my finger out of the way from the flipper tab, and I do the thumb studs. I'm trying to put it out there as far as I can, as hard as I can. Do it again here. Just flick it. Rock solid, lock up. Yeah, the button stick's almost completely gone. Almost completely gone. Still a little bit, but nothing like it was before. So this works. I think I'm going to disassemble it and polish it a little more and see if I can get it to completely go away. I'm going to do this one too, because this one still has it. Like I said, when I just gently flick it out like that, doesn't do it. If I whack it out like that, yeah, it's sticking. So I'm gonna polish this one too. And I've flipped this one, I couldn't tell you how many times I've flipped this thing, and it's still got a little bit of stick. This right now is about the same or maybe a little better than this, and I just got this, and this stick was pretty bad. And it was, strange thing was it was getting a little worse as I was going. So I don't know if there's a burr in there maybe or something, but yeah, it is much better now. So yeah, I'm gonna disassemble it. I'm gonna polish it some more. I'm also gonna disassemble this one and polish it and see if I can get it. Listen, hear that? Really bad stick when it opens hard, but if it opens gently, now listen. No, you don't even hear anything. The harder you open it, the more it sticks. This is the same way, but that's as hard as I can open that knife, and the stick isn't as bad as that is right now. So yeah, polishing it is definitely going to speed up the break-in process. By opening and closing it and then hitting the button and opening it, closing it, or opening it, hit the button, close it, open it, hit the button, close it, you're polishing that area. You're doing the exact same thing. It's just going to take a lot longer. And if you get 1,000 grit instead of 1,500 grit, you could do this really quickly. Or the right attachment for a Dremel. If somebody knows of an attachment for a Dremel that would work for that, leave a link in the comments below for me. Yeah, because I've got like the polishing wheels like this, but you almost need one of those you know how you get the sanding ones that look like a pyramid or like a triangle or a circle triangle, what, trapezoid? I can't remember those shapes. Geometry classes a long time ago. But you need something like that. I don't even know if they excuse me, I don't know if they even make something like that. Yeah, I'm flinging that thing out as hard as I can, and the stick, it's gone. There is no button stick anymore. Completely gone. Just from polishing. Let's do it as hard as I can here. I can't do it any harder than that. Yeah, it's pretty much gone. This one, not gone. But I think I can get that even a little bit better. There's a little tiny bit of stick, but I'm gonna polish them both. So if you get really bad button stick, yeah, I think this is the solution. And this is all thanks to Jake from Ohio State. Jake, if you watch this, because I know you watch some of my videos, you the man. You, I mean, it's really, I should have figured it out. Excuse me. Should have figured it out on my own. I mean, but, you know, you get in and start messing. These things have such tight tolerances. You mess anything up, and it's going to be also, you're going to have, you know, blade play or... Look at the detent. Now this isn't a detent. This is, you know what I mean by detent. It's a plunge lock, so it's a different kind of detent. There's no movement, nothing. No, I can't pull it up and move it. I can't push it down and move it. I haven't done anything to the tolerances. It's still tight as can be, but the button stick is pretty much gone. A little tiny bit, but this is worse, and this has been flipped for a month. But I've never polished this one, so. And it could have also have something to do with this stonewash finish on this. That could be why, because there are some of these you can get with satin finish. I guarantee you the ones with the satin finish are going to have less button stick than this stonewash finish has. So if you get a stonewash version, I think they may have a DLC version too. I can't remember. I know they have a black handle, but I can't remember if the blade was coated. If you've got a DLC or stonewash version, polish that area off, and you're going to get a lot better action from it. Yeah, quickly. You'll get it eventually over time anyway, but if you want to speed the process up, there you go. Thank you guys so much for watching, and leave a comment if you have any suggestions, concerns, and especially the Dremel thing. If you know about a Dremel thing, let me know, and I'll see you guys on the next one.